So I'll just do a quick intro, and then I'll introduce you briefly, and then yeah, we'll just get talking about the Manga Exhibition. Right, so I'll face this way. These poses are probably going in the video, you know that, right?
That's cool.
Okay, right. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, guys? Great start. Wonderful start. Good job, Yemi. What's going on, guys? OraMagi here, or Yemi, back again with another video here at the Manga Exhibition for Hyper Japan, and I am here with the wonderful Nicole Rousmaniere, the Curator of Japanese Arts at the British Museum, and we're here to discuss what manga?
Manga.
Exactly, indeed. So if you just want to, I give you just like a very short introduction, but if you want to maybe give a slightly more in-depth introduction about yourself and what you do here at the museum.
Sure. My name is Nicole Rousmaniere. I'm the IFAC Honda Curator for Japanese Arts. My specialization is all things Japanese, particularly 3D and manga. So I curate Japanese art here, but I'm also the lead curator for this fantastic exhibition. I also teach at the University of East Anglia, and I'm research director at the Sainsbury Institute in Norwich.
Well, that's a hell of a lot more than I definitely could have said. My intro like pales in comparison to that. You were dropping acronyms and letters and all these accolades, so that's better. But yeah, as I said briefly in the intro, we're here at the Manga Exhibition at the British Museum. You need to come here. We're going to be saying this multiple times throughout this interview. Get down here any day of the week. Manga Exhibition?
Yes, you have to come down here. It's open every day of the week. I particularly suggest Monday to Fridays, though, because you get more of a one-to-one. And for some reason, I think people are late risers. So if you come in the morning, you can have your one-to-one with the manga drawings. And this is really important because what you need to do is actually see the drawings. This is the first time that most of these drawings have ever been out of the country and out of Japan, and even displayed anywhere, and they're fantastic. And when you see the drawings, like you see Toriyama Akira's Dragon Ball hand-drawn drawings by his hand, you will never look at the manga in the same way again. It is amazing.
I mean, that itself is a great introduction to the Manga Exhibition. There goes my first question out the window. I was going to ask, what is it? Do I care to explain it to our viewers? But she's done that already. It's great. In case it's not quite obvious, this isn't my first meeting with Nicole. We did have a previous interview. Maybe I'll show some outtakes or whatever. This is incredibly...
Sorry, excuse me. I just wanted to take a bite.
Oh, yeah. No,
so thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate everything.
Thank
it looks
you.
great. I'll tell everybody back home it was a big success. So
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Thanks
really
a lot.
Appreciate you coming.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Okay, bye-bye. He translates Golden. He's the editor of Golden Hammer.
Oh, now I feel bad for them. Like, now I feel bad.
If you ever wanted someone to photobomb, it would have been him.
That's true, actually.
It's good.
After like, just put his name in, it's like, look who's photobombing the shot. Quality wasn't quite great, whatever. So here we are again. She's so gracefully agreed to appear in front of camera again.
No, we're happy to have you back.
I'm happy to be here.
Last time he came, he was a little bit taken, not with me, but with Pikachu.
You promised not to say that. That wasn't fair. We didn't agree to that.
I'm sorry.
So the Manga Exhibition here at the British Museum, going to be saying that a lot of times, it's a lot bigger than what you may think. So, Nicole, if you could just explain like the structure, how it works, what the layout is of the Manga Exhibition, maybe give like a slight recommendation on your way in, like the things you should see for sure if you're here on limited time.
Definitely. And I really suggest, if you possibly can, have an hour and a half for this exhibition. You could take longer, you could take shorter, but we planned it for kind of an hour and a half so you don't get too tired looking at these things. But some people, to be honest, are here quite a bit longer. Anyway, this is the City Exhibition Manga at the British Museum, and we've divided it into 6 sections. We start off kind of going through Alice in Wonderland theme. In fact, the idea is that we, in fact, are Alice, and we have an avatar, a white rabbit. It's not Alice's white rabbit. It is a transformed white rabbit, which is a white Japanese rabbit from the 12th century, Mimi-chan, meaning ears. Mimi-chan is seeing us through, and the first of the 6 zones is reading, writing, and producing manga. So this is your grade school experience of, everyone already knows this. I know you guys already know this, but you might not know about producing manga. Actually, what we found out doing this exhibition is 50% of the manga production, what you see on the page, is actually done by editors and by the publishing houses. So we wanted to highlight that. We have interviews from the editors. We show Shonen Jump at their deadline. We kind of dive a little bit deep into that so that you can actually see what manga really is and how it gets to your hands. Then Zone 2 is its history and formats, and this is the most important, and it's also kind of revolutionary. In Japan, you often have beautiful drawing manga exhibitions. They're called Genga exhibitions, or you'll have, one Shonen Jump, so just their whole oeuvre going through, like everything that they've done. What we've done here is try to show manga in the round, so we're showing where it's coming from and its history, but also its format. So shonen, shoujo, we try to be even and have a lot of female artists and a lot of expression of shoujo female based manga, but also shonen. We look at Tezuka, the god of manga. We go through kind of the history. We look at the anime with it, and importantly, at the end of Zone 2, we have the bookstore experience. Now, this bookstore experience is important because the manga artists told us, they said, what are you doing? Because we dealt with the artists and the editors themselves, and they said, what are you doing putting our stuff on the walls? Manga is what you put in your hand or on your cell phone or on your mobile phone. And so we said, okay, we get it. And so we've created a bookstore experience where we look at bookstores historically, and then you go in and have a 2.5 animated experience of Professor Munakata's British Museum Adventure. But on the outside, what we're really excited about is we have manga there for you to peruse in English, in Japanese, in Portuguese, in French, in German, and a lot of the works that are not in this exhibition, we wanted to put more in, but we couldn't fit everything in, are there in the bookstore. Plus, we have 17 areas where you can get the QR code, you just capture it, and you can download and read manga on your mobile device when you leave the exhibition. So Zone 3, so after Zone 1 and 2, you are fluent in manga. We knew you were already fluent, but this is, for our other,
this is
audience.
for you guys. This is like a guided audio tour of the Manga Exhibition. So you better be paying attention. Exclusive at Hyper Japan,
only here. So Zone 3 is genres. We have a plethora, lots and lots of genres to choose from, but it is true that Japan is coming up to the Rugby World Cup and to the Olympic Paralympics, so we do a bit of sports groove, but we also have horror, we also have love, we also have gender issues, we have lots and lots of different things, and one of my favorite, the Willow, you have to see that. And Zone 4 is what makes it happen, and it's really about you guys. It's fandom. It is Comic-Con, Comiket, it will be Hyper Japan. It's about the fans who really fuel this multi-billion pound industry. It is the fans that make it happen and the fans that continue it. And we have a cosplay section. We have Manga and Society, looking at posters that the government uses to, enforce rules. Have you paid your taxes with Golgo 13, the assassin for hire, plastered on the walls. And then Zone 5 is our wonderful perimeter where you get a one-to-one with the Genga drawings. You have the characters blown up. And then we have a 17-meter theater curtain from the 1880s that is live action painting where it's manga's prequel, where manga comes out of, and the last time you'll be able to see that because it'll never be displayed again. And then the final one is Manga No Limits, and we look at the expansion of manga, Pokemon, Ghibli, manga and ceramics you never knew, and manga sculpture. And then at the very end, we have two little surprises for you. We have one which we cannot name, but you have to come. You have to see it. It is our amazing works drawn for us. But no, the reveal happens here.
Exactly.
And then we have a manga me moment, which you have done.
That's me.
And it's way cool, and we're expecting to see that on your Twitter feed.
Yeah, I'll definitely play around with that, don't worry.
and then we have our wonderful gift shop.
So that was an amazing, audio description, effectively, an audio tour of the Manga Exhibition. It's no excuse to not come down yourself. Don't be telling your friends, I watched this video, I had Nicole describe it to me. No! You come down here yourself, you see it for yourself, alright? I warned you at the beginning that I'd be saying this a lot. Manga Exhibition, British Museum, buy tickets. There'll be a link in the description below, and everywhere. There's probably one flashing on screen right now. You know what? Maybe there's two flashing right now. Maybe three, okay? I'm not going to do more because editing this is going to be a pain. But there'll be 3 links flashing. You have no excuse. Okay, right. So you were talking about one thing I noticed while you were giving the description of the manga exhibition, how you had like personal talks with publishing houses and the mangaka themselves. So how exactly did this happen? Let's get like an origin story for the manga exhibition. Like, how exactly do you reach out to like these publishing giants? Like, you've got Shueisha, you've got Kodansha. How do you reach out to them?
Pronunciation.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
Thank you very much. You hear that, Bob? I got it. So how exactly does it happen? How do you reach out to these companies and get them to display their precious works here?
Well, it was a challenge, but to be honest, there was incredibly goodwill everywhere. But publishing companies in general don't really think museums are part of their remit. You know, hanging stuff on the wall isn't what they do, and they like to sell it. so
makes sense.
So and we're trying to show as much as possible for as
kind
easily
of like
accessible.
Because it goes against what they want to do.
So we're really kind of diametrically opposites. But saying that, I think they got the idea that in the UK, for some unknown reason, of all of Europe, it has the lowest manga purchasing rates.
Come on,
Why?
guys. What are you guys doing?
Hello?
Go buy some manga. Go right now.
Download
Pause this.
on your
Exactly.
phone.
It's 2019. You could read manga on your smart fridge. You got no excuse.
But saying that, good news is that slowly but surely the rates are growing up. In fact, they're growing up more than the rest of Europe. So while it's not overall that big, there is a growth. It is a growth industry, and I think this excites the industry, but it also excites us because what it means is this powerful visual culture deserves a place in the UK. And what we're saying is that if people don't understand manga, and if they don't, all of you do, we know this is not for you, this is for everyone else that visits the British Museum patrons, all of this, we're saying if they do not understand this phenomena, they will not understand the 22nd century, they will not understand millennials, they will not understand Generation Z, they will not understand that this is the future of visual language. So ignore it at your peril.
I mean, exactly what she said. It's just manga, just as an art form. It's a great way to bridge the gap between people, between cultures. Of course, you got obviously all of it originating from Japan, and now it's a worldwide phenomenon. So there's no excuse to not even just come down here with like your mum or your dad, who might not understand.
Or your gran.
Exactly. You know, your mum or your parents. They walk into your room and they're like, "Oh, what are all these posters you have on your wall? Go, you know, all these like girls you have on your wall. Go get a real girlfriend, Jimmy. You know, there's no problem."
Bring your inner otaku out and come here. And actually revel in it with them. Teach them. You know, it is an amazing bridging tool. I cannot tell you, we've seen some grands and grandmothers coming in there and saying, I'm trying to understand my grandchildren.
That's just like so precious. They're coming in here, they probably like don't know what they're looking at, but they're like, I'm here for my grandchildren. And you know what? They'll probably leave thinking it's really good. I'm good at this. I'm professional. All right, we good.
Hey, you can go on Flickr, if you do, and go to the British Museum account, and you will see all of the people that have taken selfies with our Manga Me moment, including...
I'll put mine on camera somewhere, or maybe like video of me doing it.
You will see grams and grandpops on it. Believe me.
Oh, that's so precious. They're probably looking at the camera, maybe just like... And then that's amazing. It is like... truly awesome to show that like people from like all ages, all different generations and groups can come here to experience the manga exhibition. So maybe let's get a tiny bit more in depth into that. So,
can I just say there's one thing that's really important that a lot of us don't realize is where are these drawings that were put on the wall that are amazing. This is the largest manga exhibition ever outside of Japan, and many people from Japan saying that this is the only one of its kind so far. So it's probably not going to be done again in any time near future because it was quite an effort. So get down and see it.
There you go, exactly. Limited time offer. Get down here now.
August 26th of August.
There you go.
Down before. But so where are these actual drawings hiding? Well, I'll tell you. They're in the closets of the artists.
You have to get them to like dig into their closets and bring them out.
And some of the artists were saying, I know it's in here somewhere.
I could just imagine like rumbling through like their shoe closet. Like I knew I had this panel here somewhere. I've got this manuscript here somewhere. Aha! That's great. great.
But so we had to get it from the artists, and then the artists we talked to the artists, but in between us and the artists are the editors, and then there's the rights department. There are a whole bunch of different layers, but it actually all works to protect the artists. The artists are incredibly busy. Every week or every 2 weeks they have deadlines, and they don't need pesky curators coming around bothering them, messing up their deadlines, but we do anyway.
I mean, if it gets something like this to be put together, then, maybe it's just a little bit of annoyance there is worth it in the end.
I have a question
Oh,
for you.
for me? Okay. Fire
Which
away.
drawing did you like the best? Which manga drawing in this exhibition was the one that you really liked?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot because I'm okay, well, obviously you can tell I'm not prepared. This is ad-lib, obviously, but that's great. It makes it fun. You see, now I've got like more than a few answers. I think the one that like garnered the best reaction for me, like when I came in here last Tuesday, filming some stuff and whatnot, I think the one where I looked at it on the wall and I was like, oh my god, this is actually here. It had to be the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure one.
Oh.
There is and I will show it on camera. This is reason enough for you JoJo stands to get down here. There is a giant Josuke on the wall.
He rolls.
It's so good. It's so good. I mean, obviously you've got the Titan head, and you're like, whoa. You've got Saitama up on one of the panels. You're like, whoa. But then you see a full color giant Josuke on the wall of the British Museum, and you're just
With
like,
the drawing.
with the drawing, exactly. And you're just like, this is happening. This is real. Oh my god, this is real. And it like, it's that moment that encaptures you, enraptures you in just like the magic of the British Museum, of the Manga Exhibition, and then manga itself. It's one of those moments that just makes you look at it and be like, damn, I love manga. It really just one of those moments. I think that's got to be my answer for that one.
Yeah, it's really true. Do you know what happens is, I'm really busy with this exhibition and the preparation for this exhibition, so I work pretty hard and I work like night. I go home, I'm really tired. Do you know what I do?
What?
I read manga.
You're, of course,
I should be sleeping.
it doesn't get any better. It really doesn't get any better than that. It's great. You cannot say she's not dedicated to her craft. You can't say she's not passionate. None of you can say that anymore. She's just as much of a weeb as me and you are, all right? Okay? Okay, so we've gone a bit in depth about how it happened. You've had her wonderful voiced overview. But now, obviously, there's like certain moments. You saw my reaction to the giant Josuke. But aside from that, surely there are some other must-see, stand-out parts of the exhibition. So if you were to detail, let's say three. Three's a magic number. Top three must-see parts of the Manga Exhibition. Go.
Okay. Not necessarily in order, and I wasn't prepared for this, so I'm just freestyling. Anyway, Golden Kamui. Mm-hmm. I think Golden Kamui, our lead image, Ashiripa, this 15-year-old plucky Ainu girl, one of the indigenous communities of northern Japan, and she is amazing. But I have a challenge for you.
Oh, okay.
So we have some fantastic drawings from Noda Satoru, the man the young man who draws this, and he is such an amazing drawer. They say his wrist, in Japanese you would say his wrist is brilliant. Anyway, he draws beautifully, but I have a challenge. So we have the actual lead image in situ, we have the drawing which it was taken from, which was from one of the early volumes of now, many volumes of Golden Kamui and translated into English. And I challenge you to take one of the flyers and bring that drawing of the flyer and look at it against the original image. No. And you will see it is slightly different.
Oh.
Do you want to know why?
Do you mean to say that there are original pieces here at the Manga Exhibition? Is that what you're getting at?
There are completely original pieces here. What he did was he redrew, when we decided that, yes, we wanted this image, he said, fantastic, but I did that a little while ago. I'm better now. And so he redrew it. And wow. It is really romping, stomping, beautiful. It really is. And so when you look at the two, the original one was great, but when you look at the two, you just think, wow. And what manga artists often told me is that the early volumes are great and they're fresh, but their skill progresses as they go on. And so it's really kind of interesting to know what volume the drawings are taken from. So pay attention. Oh. And we've had some original drawings from Kon no Fumio. She's the goddess of look at reportage. She looks at Hiroshima, Fukushima. She did Giga Town, how to read manga through manga codes. She drew us Mimi-chan, who is throughout the exhibition. We have some original drawings by, should I say the name? I think I can say the name.
I think they deserve it. I think you can say the name.
Inoue Takehiko, original material drawn for this exhibition. So, seeing is believing.
Exactly.
You've got to come down and see it.
I think, though, that was great, and don't get me wrong, kind of went on a bit of a tangent. You still owe me 2 more recommendations. You said Golden Kamuy.
He noticed.
You can't get away from these that easily. You still owe me 2 more recommendations.
He's trying. Okay, one more.
One? Okay.
No,
Two more.
I'll do 2 more.
Two more, that's
But,
one.
but
Two
the
more.
next one, Buddha and Jesus in downtown Tokyo. Buddha and Jesus in Saint Onisan, that is Saint Young Man in English translation, is a fantastic manga by Nakamura Hikaru, and this is really important, for the first time, and we hope it's spurred on by this exhibition, but we've had a good relationship with her. She's actually donated images to us, so the British Museum has some of her original work. Anyway, all of this, she's been translated to all different languages. She's a bestseller in Japan and in different countries, but it was never translated into English. And do you know what? From April this year, you can actually download it from Kodansha. So for the first time, legally,
That's
say
important. Gotta say
legally,
that.
no
That's
scanlations here. Legally, you can download Saint Onisan from that, and I wrote the afterword
Oh, all right, definitely go
for
check
it,
that out.
and it will be in paper from the autumn. So this is Buddha and Jesus, and in their kind of young self, Jesus thinks he looks like Johnny Depp. So he's always got his shades, and he's like got his beard and mustache, and he's trying to groove Johnny Depp. And then Buddha is very sincere, and but when he gets excited, his third eye lights up. So there are all of these different things. But when it's just really, they're just fantastic dilemmas. They find in an early story, they find a cockroach. Buddha finds or Jesus, I think, finds a cockroach in the bedding when they're putting it away, and it's like, do we kill it or not? Obviously, you know the answer. Yeah. So I think that is a must-see. That's definitely a must-see. Mm-hmm. There's so many, but can I tell you one that makes me cry every single time?
Yeah, well, for the third one, let's get a bit emotional. What's what makes you cry?
This really is, and she is a queen. She is a queen. There are many fantastic artists here, but Hagiomoto also, her Po Clan. This is Flash. Her Po Clan has never been translated into English. It's about vampirellas in Europe from the 18th to 19th century. It's Edgar and Allan Poe. But anyway, they Edgar and Allan, and they're through the centuries, because they are immortal, although they can be killed off. There will be translated into English through, I believe, Viz from July. Oh. So you will be able to read it legally.
Can I say that again? We only promote legal manga reading here. Don't get it twisted.
And it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. We have the original drawings, but what I suggest is looking at The Willow. The Willow Tree is this 19-page manga. It's one complete 19-page manga, and we have every single page here, and there are very, very, very few words, and only at the end. And what you see is this beautiful woman under this willow tree against a bank, and in the background, all the action happens, and you see a young boy coming down, and they never interact with her, but she's always looking and reflecting on what's happening in the background. The willow tree is gradually getting bigger. The bank behind gets bricked, concreted up. You can see time is going by. She never changes. And in the back, the boy grows up. He meets a girl. He has a child. His father dies. All of these things happen, and you just see her reacting, but she doesn't move from that willow tree. Finally, at the end, spoiler alert.
Okay, yeah, I'll put that. If you're reading this and you don't want to be spoiled, you can pause or skip now. There'll be a time code somewhere. Okay, I think we can.
So what happens is, turn away or close your ears now if you don't want to hear. The man now, older than the girl, comes down, and he looks at her, and she looks at him. She's a bit nervous. She looks back at him, and he says, "I was really angry at you when you disappeared. I couldn't believe why you left us." Then you turn to the next page. He said, "But now I can see you were here all along." And then the next to last page is, "I'm all right, mother." And then
I haven't even read that, and I'm gonna start tearing up. I could just imagine that, especially with the page turning, just to add to the experience. Oh my god!
And then, it's so horrible. and then then she disappears. She literally disappears from the tree, and he holds the tree. And Hagiomoto Sensei told us, because she was here for the opening of the exhibition, she told us that the spirit of the mother goes into his heart.
Why are you gonna make me cry on camera?
You gotta see it. You gotta see it.
You heard her. You gotta see it. I'm gonna need a second after that one.
It's true. I actually always tear up. I can't tell you. It's beautiful.
Actually is. That actually is beautiful. Is there anything in particular you want to get out, or?
Let's see. Ella, is there anything? Have you been listening? Is there anything?
Wait, how long have you been there?
Got quite tense there.
I know.
So we can't just like leave it on like a bit of a tearjerker like that. That's not fair. So to end this one on what I hope, depends on her answer. What I hope is a bit more of a happy note. Nicole, we know that you're a huge manga fan, just like everyone, or just like me, just like everyone watching this. We know you love what you do and you love the medium. So I think definitely the final question that I'm going to ask is, Nicole, what is your favorite manga?
Oh no.
Oh yes.
They're all my babies. Sophie's Choice. How can you choose? But okay, saying that, I have to admit I'm a total SF fan. I really like science fiction, and I'm addicted to Morohoshi, Daijiro, and Hoshino Yukinobu. But saying that, and I always go back to them. But saying that, what I'm really excited about now is Pampanya.
Oh, okay.
That's Panya, and one of the volumes brilliantly is translated into English, and because they don't identify as male or female, Pampanya is amazing. And what Pampanya does is they draw the characters, the actual figures in the manga in pencil, and then they draw the backgrounds in beautiful ink, beautiful draftsmanship with a G pen, and beautifully drawn. And then they place the figures into the landscape, and so there's always a little bit of a shift. There's always like a little bit of dislocation. It is so cool. It is really cool. You've gotta see it to believe it.
For sure. I think that's definitely, that's going on my reading list. But I think that's definitely going to have to do with the interview. This is like clocking in probably like over half an hour now. You better be here through all of it. I mean, I personally know
Listen to the end.
Yeah, exactly. We're not quite done yet. But I know personally I've very much enjoyed talking to you. It's been
so wonderful to have you. And
it's been a great
really
pleasure
lucky.
of mine. I should be the lucky one. I will be coming back for sure. But just before we finish this off, are there any final things you would like to tell the people watching this video?
I definitely would. So while this exhibition is on till the 26th of August, and on Fridays we're open late till 8:30 p.m. So you have a chance, but make sure on the weekdays or the normal days you get in by 4:30. That's the last. You have till 5:30, but to see that. And then on Friday nights, it's open till 8:30. But please get into the exhibition by 7:30. So we have something else for you.
Ooh. What's that?
We have an incredible range of events. We have fantastic events. And so we have events that are talks, we have editors coming, we have artists coming, we have coming up really soon on a lot of these events take place on Fridays, so they're late events, so you can hang out in the museum on Fridays. We have one coming up on how to make a good manga by one of the top editors. We have all of this, but our most exciting, perhaps, event is on July 5th, a Friday night late. It is social death not to be there. And we're going to have Yamamoto Kansai. He is the legendary designer of David Bowie's fantastic Flash pants that were on the cover of his suit that were on the cover of the V&A David Bowie exhibition. But he just is an amazing designer, and he's working with hand-picked 8 UAL young fashion students to create fashion and do a fashion show with his own people, with the UAL students. So it's a collaboration between UAL and these young fashion designers, Yamamoto Kansai, and we're having Grayson Perry come in, and so Grayson Perry's going to it's going to be in conversation. Plus there's going to be drawing manga, there's going to be a Ghibli film, there's going to be a electric Tsugaru shamisen, there's what's not just alcohol, all sorts of things, non-alcohol too, and but we're going to have something else there, and you're going to tell us about it.
Am I?
Yeah.
Of course I am. There is going to be a cosplay, co-sponsored by Hyper Japan, just got to drop that out there. There is going to be a cosplay runway, so like a proper display of all the wonderful cosplayers who will be attending on the 5th. You must be here to see it. Is it open to the public? Before we get everyone
Absolutely,
hyped
it's free.
up. It's free entry, open to the public, July the 5th again.
In the Great Court.
In the Great Court. There will be, I'm sure I'll find all the details and put them in the description. So that's July the 5th. Is it bad that the only things I remember from the list you said are alcohol and David Bowie's designer? Is that bad? I was paying attention, I swear.
That's okay.
I mean, you can always rewind.
Manga,
fashion, alcohol, David Bowie's
Bowie.
designer, cosplay. There you go.
Okay, wait, but that's not it. I just want one last thing is
One
that
more
we
thing.
have a number of partner institutions, and we want to just say that they're having fantastic events, and so please look, Japan House, Asia House, Japan Society, there are all sorts of things. We have Anglo Daiwa Foundation, all these things are happening, so please pay attention to your Twitter feeds. And in addition, we have wonderful support from lots and lots of other places. This is, so we just want to thank all the people that made us help this happen, City, IAG, a number of different places, and thanking you. Thank you. Please come, listen to him. Yes.
Exactly. This it is a piece of history. If you come down here to the British Museum Manga Exhibition to see it, it is a piece of history that you'll be walking through. Largest collection of manga outside of Japan. We've said that already, but I think we are gonna have to close it here. If you can hear in the background already, there are like little footsteps, keys jingling, and whatnot. So we're running out of time, sadly. I'm sure that we could go on like forever, just talking about like a bunch of stuff, but I'm gonna have to close it off there. So again, thank you, Nicole.
You're excellent.
Thank you.
Thank
You're wonderful. Thank you again for the interview, and thank you for watching, especially if you stuck it through to the end. I really hope you did, because there are some gems in here. I will just say that right now. But thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, of course, don't forget to drop a like, as well as drop a subscription to the Hyper Japan channel, so you know when more great content like this goes live. Follow Hyper Japan on Twitter. Follow the British Museum on Twitter, so you're aware when all of the late night events that Nicole described are happening. I kind of lost my words there. That doesn't matter. I'm finishing. I can babble a bit now. But yeah, that's going to do it for me again. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Take it easy. Bye bye, Pikachu.